Things have been going crazy with the Hector DAO in the last few weeks. Say bye-bye to that crazy APY we've been seeing at HEC, because that's going out the window like right now. So guys, so much has been going on. There are a ton of proposals that have recently been passed that we need to cover, as well as Hector DAO's roadmap for 2022. If you're invested in a HEC or have been thinking about investing in HEC, this is all the stuff you really need to understand. So make sure that you hit that like button and that you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of our future DAO content. Now, all right, we've got a lot to break into, so I'm gonna break down the sections that we're gonna be covering. I'll put in the timestamps in the notes so you can easily find the sections and jump back and forth. We're gonna be covering HIP 007, warm-up period for staking, HIP 08, buyback and burn, HIP 10, HEC 2022 master plan, HIP 11, APY reduction, and then we'll briefly be covering all of the hype. HIP 007, if you've been following HEC for the last few weeks, you've seen the way rebase snipers have been putting an immense amount of downward pressure on HEC's price. Now, the proposal comes as a response of investors' concern about unwanted price action around rebases as larger holders are selling directly after a rebase. Now, the solution that was proposed was to introduce a warm-up period for staking. Simply put, if you stake HEC, you'd have to wait 3 rebases before you'll be able to unstake your check. Now, during the warm-up period, users will accumulate rewards. When 3 rebases have elapsed, the staked balance HEC can be claimed from the warm-up contract. If you were to sell prematurely, then you would forfeit those rewards. Now, the proposal was put to a vote on how many rebases were in the warm-up, which was either 2 rebases or 3. Now, the community overwhelmingly voted for 3 rebases. Let me know down in the comments, what do you guys think about this warm-up period? Do you think that it's actually going to keep these large rebase snipers at bay? Or what negative consequences do you think can come as a result from implementing this rebase period for just your average investors? An older HIP that has been in the works for a few weeks is HIP 008 concerning the buyback and burn protocol. Now, the idea is to use a combination of LP and RFV funds to create a price floor and stabilize the HEC token price. This proposal allows the protocol to buy back and burn tokens at a higher price than the $1 and much closer to the backing per HEC price typically seen in the dashboard when you log in. Now, which will differentiate from most projects that call themselves a reserve currency, which are designed to go to $1 and then just stay there. This would instead allow HEC to become more akin to a utility coin. Now, the approach the team landed on and the community actually voted on was what is considered a dynamic hybrid approach. And in this scenario, we track the ratio of LP stablecoins in the treasury. If the amount of stablecoins in the POL LP pairs is more than 20% of the treasury stablecoin balance, the LP will be used. If it is less than 20%, the treasury will be used. For example, if the LP stable pairs are 10 million and the stable coins in the treasury amount to 30 million, then the LP would be used since it amounts to more than 20% of the treasury. But if the LP stable pairs are 10 million and the treasury is 45 million, then the treasury will be used since the LP is less than 20% of the treasury. Now, this solution allows us to draw funds from the most sustainable source at the time of the buyback. As a general guide, bonding will be used more in periods of expansion, buybacks will be used more in periods of contraction. So when will these buybacks happen? The price at which these buybacks happen will be within a given range, and the time of buybacks will not be announced ahead of time. And this is to stop people from gaming the system and then profiting from buyback price movements. Now, the buyback price will be slightly below the backing per HEC price. As POL and RFV increase through bond sales, the buyback price will also increase since it's going to lag slightly behind the backing price. So what will buybacks look like? Buybacks will not be single buys worth millions of dollars. They're going to be broken up into smaller buys, which will be done within certain price ranges. Now, they will be made unpredictable and will be used to stabilize the price of the token. Such a new project, there are so many metrics to be watching to try and decipher the legitimacy as well as the longevity of the project. Now, in the first 2 videos I did on Hector DAO, you can check out some of the criteria I originally used to decide whether or not for my investment portfolio, it made sense to invest in Hector DAO. Now, a lot of that original criteria has still held true to this day. Now, this week was very significant because the HEC team released a more detailed roadmap as to what they're planning on accomplishing in 2022. And there are some things I really like in there, and then there's a few things that kind of jump out to me and I'm a little bit worried in the master plan. As we cover the master plan, I want to know what you guys think. So comment down below which elements really stick out to you and give you reason for hope or for concern. The proposal that recently passed was HIP 10, which proposed to use approximately 7% of the treasury, so about 7.2 million in order to fund a series of developments in 2022. So let's break down what those developments are. In the most recent AMA, the team revealed the Hector ecosystem. Some of these you may already be familiar with, and some may be completely new concepts you haven't heard of yet. Now, Hector Rebase is something that has existed from the beginning and what everyone is most familiar with. This is where rebasing, bonding, and APY will remain. Now, in this regard, nothing's really going to change for current users. Hector Rebase is going to continue to serve as the main treasury for the Hector ecosystem. We do plan to implement changes for bonding in early 2022 with a bonding curve, which rewards extended holding via APY. So Hector Cross-Chain is going to be a subproduct to manage Hector DAO across multiple chains. This team will be responsible for adapting use cases to allow access to liquidity on other chains, as well as to form partnerships with projects and teams who are not native to the Phantom Opera chain. This will allow us to grow into a more globalized project, which will have access to billions of dollars of liquidity and millions of potential users. Now, cross-chaining will be a focus of 2022. They did mention that they are currently in touch with a bunch of different potential partners, so I'll really be looking forward to seeing who those partnerships are that they're talking about. Now, Hector Bank is one that has been discussed on various occasions, and on the site you can find info about the existing partnership with Rari Capital. Now, there's not a solid launch date at the moment, but the team has said that Hector Bank will launch in January 2022 and continue to expand. So we should see some info being released in the next coming weeks here since we're in January. Now, the general idea is that Hector will integrate an open interest rate protocol that allows users to lend and borrow digital assets all within the Hector ecosystem. Lenders can achieve an attractive APY without any risk of volatility of the HEC price by lending out stable coins. Hector NFT and Hector Gaming. Now, this one we haven't heard too much about, and it's been under wraps for the most part. To be honest, there still isn't that much solid info on it, so I'm not fully convinced with this element within the ecosystem to create additional value for the HEC token. But that thought might change as more info is going to be released here shortly. Now, the idea is to create a DeFi game that allows users to earn rewards by playing P2P. The game will implement the use of HEC NFTs being created currently at the moment, and the revenues generated from the game will then support further expansion of the game and HEC ecosystem as a whole. Now, NFT creators will be able to mint their NFTs through the HEC ecosystem. A portion of those NFT royalties on each will be used to buy HEC tokens and distribute them to NFT holders. What I want to know though is what other utility will these NFTs hold? Is the value just in the game ecosystem, or will these NFTs carry additional value like access to inner HEC discussion groups or so on? What's your guys' opinion? What could HEC do with these NFTs to really create some additional value for the ecosystem? Leave a comment down below for me. Now, Hector Launch is going to act as an incubator and a launchpad for upcoming projects on the Phantom Opera chain, and I'm actually really looking forward to this. We've talked before about what makes the Phantom network so impressive, and I like that Hector is trying to fill a gap in the market by helping other developers looking to launch on the network. Now, this type of launchpad has the potential to help the Phantom Opera chain exponentially grow, and which I already think it is going to grow, but this will accelerate that. Now, Hector Swap will serve as a DEX aggregator embedded into the Hector ecosystem. This means that users can swap their tokens to and from HEC and even others whilst getting the best possible rates from across the network. This would allow HEC to turn into the financial center within the Phantom network, which once again would be huge. Now, Hector University, this is an interesting approach within the ecosystem. The idea is to develop short courses to teach people about the HEC ecosystem with the possibility of earning while learning through NFTs upon completion. Now, I'm not quite sure what that exactly looks like at the moment though. I am a fan though of educating the community, hence why I've been deep diving into Hector videos for the last couple of weeks. Now, I also like the idea that they're going to be occasionally working with YouTubers to collaborate on content creation. Now, if you're in the HEC Discord group, tell Prometheus and the other founders that we want to see some more collaboration between the Money Growth Academy channel right here and Hector. Lastly is Hector Pay. As they say themselves, this is an extremely ambitious goal that I personally don't see coming to fruition for more than a year. But the idea would be to create a payment system where users can send and receive crypto assets to and from friends using their crypto balance in an aim to replace fiat currencies. Now, being on the Phantom chain, this means that they would be able to leverage the power and speed of the Phantom chain. So extremely low transaction fees and increased transaction speed, which is a win-win overall. A massive proposal we need to discuss is HIP 11 APY reduction. One of the main draws for investors to this project has been the insane APYs we've seen over the last 2 months. Now, in a recent attempt to address the possibility of severe dilution, the team has proposed over the coming 3 weeks to reduce the APY to 10,000 per operation for utility to come to the HEC token. Now, the idea is to keep the APY rates at a level where stakers are still rewarded, but without diluting the project so much that the future sustainability of the HEC ecosystem is damaged, which is a fatal flaw we've seen with most other DAOs that end up fizzling out. They then mentioned that users have expressed concern about price action in recent weeks. This price action is almost entirely because of the crazy APY rates that we're seeing. Now, you can look at all other Rebase tokens that experience a similar price development for reference. Now, tokens are minted at a rate that they create selling pressure, which suppresses price action. This is something that they want to solve. Reducing APY will increase the relative rewards per person over time since the selling pressure incurred by Rebase rewards will be reduced. Now, looking at other Rebase projects such as Olympus, reducing the APY gradually to 10,000 still times 100 is incredibly bullish. Now, this will greatly benefit the runway. This approach is definitely a long game strategy for the team. Now, what do you guys think about this proposal? How do you feel about the APY reduction? Are you going to get up and walk, or is this something that's going to hold you to the team? So with that being said, where is my hype meter at the moment? To get a good gauge of that, I want to look at 2 things. First, let's take a look at a recap of milestones hit over the last 2 months, and just keep that in mind. This project is in its infancy at just 2 months, guys, we're talking about. Now, in those 2 months, we've seen successful and highly anticipated stealth launch with a healthy token distribution, multi-signature authentication, introduced the first Phantom, MEM, USDC fracs, etc. bonds on the Phantom network, intervention and implementation of first 4-4 bonds or hyperstaking in the space, launched a more efficient staking contract, introduced wrap staked Hector, unique 100% safe treasury investment contract with curve integration, unique buyback and burn system, staggered buybacks from LP, first geom bonds on Phantom, implementation of a warm-up period after staking with forfeit option with new bond contracts. In the AMA, Prometheus also shared with us how HEC is dominating the Phantom chain at the moment and has been holding steady with the lead on the Phantom chain. Now, we also see that the team is planning to use funds from the treasury to bring on 41 new hires to expand the HEC ecosystem, as well as move some of the team members to full-time salaries and then pay for marketing campaigns. So a lot of moves are indicating that they are pushing for dramatic growth in 2022, which has kept my hype up on the project and most importantly, my hope in the project. Now, one thing I would like more transparency on though is what those salaries look like for those full-time salary team members and new hires. When you have over 102 million floating around, it's easy for some murky things to start occurring. Another area in which my red flags also start to raise up is when DAOs or any new business begins talking about marketing campaigns. This is such a big black hole that eats money so easily. I would love to see a more thorough breakdown as to what marketing entails. For all we know, one of the members could be funneling $400K of marketing budget to his cousin Vinny for marketing materials, when in reality, Vinny's creating some tweets and graphics and posting them. I've seen enough shady things go down when it comes to companies spending marketing budgets. I get a little squirmy anytime the HEC team begins throwing around the word, we're going to spend some money on marketing campaigns, we need marketing campaigns, and then allocating budget to that. Am I crazy, or is this something that concerns all of you as well? Let me hear your thoughts down in the comments. Also, what other things would you guys want to know as we're going in 2022, or what suggestions would you have for the Hector team? Now, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with everything going on in the crypto and DeFi world, as well as other entrepreneurial opportunities out there. I'll see you guys in the next video.